If you stay on here, bitch, you stay on here. If you don't, you don't. I'ma talk how the fuck I always talk. Like, that's just what it's gonna be. Everybody clear on that shit? Like, anything I say you don't like, you have the option to click the fuck off. You don't have to sit here and comment nothing negative or try to express to me how you feel, because I don't give no fucks about how you feel. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I ain't on your page or on your live. You on mine. So that's gonna be the disclaimers on this live. Everybody clear on that shit? Like, we good on that? Everybody good? Thumbs up? All right, cool. So listen, I just want to share this with y'all, right? And part of it, I can speak on from my life experiences, right? And you know, I'm always talking about relationships. Y'all always ask me to talk about relationships. So I'll start with this. Prayer is important. Meditation is important. Having a sense of spirituality is important. Having some sort of understanding with yourself of why you're here, how you got here, and understanding that there are layers to you past just the physical, past just the flesh, past just, you know, being a being that's existing. Being just a warm body is only part of you. That makes sense to y'all so far? This makes sense so far? Like, before I go deeper? I really need y'all to hear me on this. So I'm making sure, like, y'all understand what I'm saying. This clear to y'all so far? Like, y'all understand it's important to pray, meditate, ease your mind, understand that past this, past just your flesh, there is more to your existence. Y'all understand this, right? Everybody clear on this before I go further? Okay, cool. Regardless of what religion or what upbringing you come from, regardless of what your lifestyle is, when I say it's important, prayer, meditation, having some sort of sense of spirituality and taming your energy, and taming the energy in your space, in your home, in the places that you go to try to thrive. Like, when I say that, what I mean is, like, something should be done daily, multiple times a day, to conquer that, right? Because that's a part of, like, your success. And when I say success, I'm not talking about how much money you got or how good you make shit look as far as material stuff. I mean your wholeness inside, your peace inside. Y'all know, y'all hear me talk about, you know, my energy, my place of peace in my life. Like, once I realized, like, that is the most important part of me. Like, not the vanity, not the amount of money I got, not the wealth I'm building for my children, not the careers I'm building, but peace within me to have understanding on what I'm doing every day. Like, when I realized that that was most important, I started paying attention to shit that I wasn't paying attention to before. And I'm gonna break it down even into, like, the most ghetto-ish shit. You ever been out on, like, a date with somebody and y'all sit down and they bring the food and, like, the other person bless their food, but you don't, they don't turn it into a group thing. Like, it's just an individual thing for them. Anybody ever experienced that? Like, you know, you ask me on a date, we go out on a date, we sit down, they bring our food. You know, put your head down and bless your food, and, you know, you don't look twice across the table. Everybody know what I'm talking about? Anybody experience that same thing? You out on a date, it could be, I mean, I ain't talking about just a nigga, I'm talking about females too. Like, you go out on a date with a bitch and she, like, she bless her shit, but she don't say nothing to you about yours. Anybody experience that besides me? Okay, so y'all know I made a video about, you know, sowing seeds and, like, being prepared for success and, like, going in with your stamp on it of how you want it to be. Like, going in with a certain type of energy. it is important that the people that you're trying to mix in your life, the people that you feel like you're trying to build with, that you plant and you sow good seeds in your interactions with them. So for example, like what I had to learn, like the situation I just explained to y'all, I had to learn that like we starting off all wrong. Like if you paying attention to me enough to ask me out, and we sit down and we having a meal together or whatever, and you feel it important to be able to bless your food, like this needs to be something that like we both put a stamp on, that we both like. Y'all understand what I'm explaining and where I'm going with this? Like you got to put a certain type of energy, a certain type of intentions. You got to, when you living in your spirituality and you owning your prayer and your meditation, like that shit got to be stamped on anything you involved in. And I'm saying this in a way carefully so that it does not make anybody feel like you got to be one particular religion in order to understand or be on what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is, a lot of y'all, the stuff you do, meaning your prayer, your meditation, your breathing, your stress relievers, you willing to do that in private, but you not willing to stamp or stand on that shit in the presence of somebody you trying to mix your life with. And then y'all wonder why the shit don't turn out equally yoked, or you wonder why the shit don't turn out in a way where y'all can't get an understanding, because you on two separate pages, you on two separate wavelengths. You blessing your food, they eating their shit, you saying a prayer for this shit to nurture your body. They sitting across from the table in the same space as you, in the same season, but on some other shit. Y'all understand what I'm explaining? Like y'all go into things that are supposed to be a unification with self at the top of it. And the thing is, y'all know I preach personal accountability and working on self, but you ought to just remain in a selfish season if that's where you at. You ain't wrong for where you at. But this is why a lot of the relationships and shit nowadays are failing, because people are going into them with this separateness. Like you're trying to join together two forces, but do it in a manner where you're practicing separate. I don't know how to break it down like no simpler. Like, is this making sense to y'all? Y'all understand what I'm explaining? Same goes for prayer and meditation, like just general prayer. A lot of y'all be around people and like, you can take off all your clothes in front of this nigga. Open your legs up. He can look all up in you, lick all up in you, do all the shit off morning time. But you can't get on your knees and pray. Like you can't meditate. You can't, whatever it is you do based on your spirituality and based on your religion, you can't for the life of you do that in front of that person without feeling judged, or without feeling like, well, I don't know if he own this, so he might not like me after this, or it might be weird to him, or it might be, and I know this because y'all be telling me this on one-on-ones. But it's like you can give a bitch your flesh, like the essence of what drive your emotions. But the shit that's gonna guide your life, you can't lay that out in front of a nigga. Like you can't, for the life of you, show him which direction you pointing your light in to see if he is going in that same direction. Y'all understand what I'm explaining? Same goes for y'all dudes. Like a lot of y'all, man, you with a female, like, bro, you can give her your money. You can lay up in her house. You around her kids. If you got a house, she can come over to your house. You can mix. But when it come to just like being a man and like just being honest, like here is what I do in my life for my peace. Like, bitch, this is what's going on. Like when you see me sitting over here, like, eyes closed, I'm praying. I'm getting right. I'm getting mentally right. If you can't respect that, if you can't understand it, if you can't put some sort of positive energy on it, if you can't get your ass over here and hold my hand and like vibe with this shit too, it ain't nothing. No matter how much money I gave you, no matter how much we mixed, no matter how much you done sucked this dick, no matter how much we done fucked, no matter how many years you claim we got in, if you can't get on this level with somebody, y'all be surprised. Like, A lot of people get on these lives in front. But y'all not sitting in front of a meal, like touching minds, touching energy, praying for nourishment. Y'all not in these households, like literally like knee to knee, arm to arm, head on chest, I don't know, and talking to your higher power together. Or hell, just meditating together. Just, we got to get this negative energy. Y'all doing this shit separate. And then you wonder why the shit ain't going in the direction that you want it to go or you think it should go. I see, what I'm talking about is not general communication. I'm not talking about that. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about owning and understanding that it is important for me to meditate, pray, release negative energy, whatever your shit is, whatever your rituals, whatever your thing is that you do to get inner peace. It is important to introduce that shit to the person you trying to mix your life with. I don't mean introduce like trying to let me put you up on game or let me show you, you know, that you need to do it like me. No, like a lot of y'all, and y'all can get on here and cap, but when you meet new people or when you with somebody and shit and you be wanting that shit to work so bad, it do be certain shit that you don't do in front of them, wondering like if it's gonna be a deal breaker or some shit to make them uncomfortable or some shit they gonna look at you as like you goofy or lame, or you know how y'all is. Like, I'm just keeping it all the way 1K. I say the shit that y'all don't want to say. It's a lot of shit. Like, you know how y'all get with people, be like, oh, I can't go to the bathroom around him until we done been around X amount of months. And y'all talk about that stuff. Y'all don't talk about how you a little bit uncomfortable to hear a nigga to sit in front of a nigga and let him hear you talk to God. Like, y'all don't talk about how you really don't want a nigga see you like this is how I get this shit off of me when my emotions be uncontrollable, or when I be feeling some type of way, or when I be, you know, wanting certain blessings to go on in my life. Like, here is what I do. Y'all understand what I'm explaining? Like, this is some real shit. I don't give a fuck what religion you is. Like, I ain't on here to go to getting in depth about what. No. Whatever the fuck you do to understand your purpose on this goddamn planet, it's no way you should be with somebody and you can't express that shit. You can't. A lot of y'all got people, you tried to and they brushed it off. You bring it out, it ain't that important. That's your clear sign right there. Fuck everything else. That shit ain't gonna go nowhere. It ain't gonna work. And then I'm gonna tell you another thing. Everybody got their different, you know, beliefs and shit they believe in. But I'm going to tell you some shit I feel like is true across the board. It's certain shit that you can pray and meditate for, release energy for, to bring in your life. And you got to understand certain type of prayers, certain type of meditation, certain type of rituals, certain type of, you know, spiritual states. You got to come in them bitches in a clean, how can I say it so it don't go over y'all head? You got to come in them bitches like after a shower, after a bath, after... Y'all know I say all the time that success is nothing but preparation meeting opportunity. And part of preparation is exactly the stuff I'm talking about. Prayer, meditation, spirituality, like being able to be one with what you got going on. And I'm going to say this. Some of y'all going into the shit, you're going into your prayer, you're going into your meditation, you're going into your spiritual season, you're going into your rituals with the wrong clothes on, the wrong energy on, the wrong... Okay, you know how you go into a job interview, right? You go get yourself right to be prepared for that, to step in that space. You going to... just anywhere any opportunity you about to walk into, to where it requires you to do some things before you step into there. Like, you go into a job interview, it requires you to, you know, brush your teeth, you know, wash your face, put on some clothes that match whatever type of position you're trying to get. Grab your resume. Have that shit with you. All this is being prepared. Make sure you wake up on time. Make sure you got some of the prayers in the seasons that y'all going into where y'all asking for a higher power to bless y'all and shit. You're not prepping for that shit. You're not getting all that bullshit off of you. You're not showering. You're not brushing your teeth. You're not putting on the right armor. You're not coming with in the right space. Like y'all coming with attitudes and you know, falsifications and discernment and fucking shit that's like it ain't right. So your shit ain't being received because your energy ain't right. Your heart ain't in the right space. You ever seen a motherfucker like you know, there's that idea that, you know, you don't have to be in a certain space or a certain time in order to pray or talk to your God or your higher power, or your Allah, or your Yahweh, or your Buddha, or your, you know, whatever. But then there's that understanding when you going and your prayer is really for a evolution in your life. When your meditation is really for you to see differently. When you asking for a sign or some sort of vision to really be different, you got to take some of that shit off. Like sometimes you got to clean the makeup off. You got to put your strap to the side, bro, and you got to like really open yourself up in a pure form to get some sort of understanding. Like y'all go into it with demons on y'all. Y'all go into it with the wrong shit on. Y'all go into it with a dirty mindset, dirty clothes, dirty, like just it ain't right. It ain't gonna do what you wanted to do. That's why a lot of y'all been praying and meditating and, you know, in your spirituality for a long time and you ain't seen a change in shit. Y'all understand what I'm explaining? Y'all in them seasons where you only trying to get right when shit, the police get behind you. Oh God, if you get me out of this, I promise you. Ooh, Yahweh, if you just get you, ooh, I got too much shit in this car. Like this when y'all when you at the lowest fucking point and you can't even think clear, but you wanna, Lord, I don't understand why this nigga doing this to me. And I'm just saying, like, I just need a like, you got to go clear yourself of certain shit. Like sometimes you got to come in a pure form, like in order to be able to like really understand what you praying for and be able to see when the shit drop in your lap what you asked for. Y'all understand what I'm explaining? Hold on, y'all. Y'all get it? I'm gonna do a part 2 to this, but I want y'all to just really like take in what I said, and not from a religion standpoint, like, oh, she was speaking to blah. No, I'm speaking in general across the board, regardless of what you believe in. Like, this shit is golden if you really could understand from the space that I'm trying to give it to you from. Exactly. I don't give a fuck whether it's burning sage or whatever the fuck it is you do. Like, I'm gonna speak on this some more, but hopefully this like help y'all through y'all day. Somebody needed to hear it.